Hello everyone. In today's lesson, Arabic letter shapes in a word, I will introduce you to the Ain and Ghain. Ain and Ghain belong to the friendly group of letters. It means that they agree to compromise parts of their shape in order to fit in the word in different positions, blending neatly with other letters. Now, to understand this reshaping, let's take a look at the anatomy of the letter. Ain and Ghain, they consist of two parts basically. The top is a small curve and the bottom is a big curve. Now, from our experience from the previous lessons, we know two things. First, that we have to keep a part of the letter to keep its identity. And then we have to compromise the largest part of the letter that takes space and usually is the curve. So let's see how this will take place with the two letters Ain and Ghain. Now, at a first glance, we can notice that there's a lot of characters here related to the Ain and Ghain. And here, of course, we have the isolated forms. In the initial position, we kept the smaller curve and we got rid of the bigger curve, and then we extended a line to connect to the next letter. In the medial position, we also kept the top or the smaller curve, but as you can notice here, it is not a curve anymore. We tied this curve or closed this curve to form a loop, and this loop is solid or filled in. And we extended a line on both sides to connect to the letters. In the final position, we also kept the top and we restored the bottom. Now, as you can see here, we did not restore the original shape of the smaller curve. We kept or we saved the solid or the filled in loop, and we only got back the bigger loop. And of course, we extended a line before the letter. So, as we can see that the Ain and Ghain, they go through a lot of changes when they reshape their form. At the beginning of a word, they take the same smaller loop. At the end of a word, they take the same bigger loop. The new shape that we are learning today about these two letters is the medial position, and the top of the Ain and Ghain at the end of a word. It is not the smaller curve. Actually, the curve is closed, taking a shape of a loop, and this loop is usually filled in or solid. And here are examples of words containing Ain and Ghain within different positions, as you can see here. And it's obvious that the letter takes space, and then when it compromises parts of the form, it fits neatly and saves space. And also we can here notice that unlike the ha or kha or jim, we usually have the letter at the end of the word restoring its original shape. But here, as we can see, the top of the letter is different than the original or isolated form. But actually, there's a condition where we can find the isolated form as it is. So let's take a look. Now, when we have words ending with the letters Ain or Ghain, and these two letters are preceded by resisting letters. Here we can find that the Ain and Ghain are written in their original form. not with the looped or the enclosed curve here, but as the original shape. Now, I want to highlight a very important point related to the design or style of the ain and ghain within the initial and uh, final position of a word. We just learned that the ain in the middle and at the end of the word, the top part of the ain is not a curve. It is a loop and it is solid. Now, if we look at this box here, we have the same exact examples that actually they are the same words, and these are Ain and Ghain also. But the difference here is that they are hollow and they look a bit different. This is due to typography thing, and it's just a matter of fonts because Arabic we have a lot of fonts. Now, most of the time, like for example, in the Quran and in the printed form of or the script, we find that the Ain is printed in this solid shape. On the online content, most of the time you will find that the Ain and Ghain they are in this hollow shape. So to avoid any confusion, these both are the same letter, but due to the different font and styles of the typing, sometimes you will find them different. Now here, this is Ain and this is Ain. This is a Ghain and this is a Ghain. Now we don't have a problem because we just learned that this is a solid and this is a hollow one. Now, which one of these four words that may cause confusion? What do you think? And looks like another letter in the medial position. Yes, correct. The medial position of the Ghain. Why? Let's see. Let's look at an example of a letter that may be confused with the Ghain because it looks a lot like the Ghain, and this could be confusing for a beginner. Here we have this hollow shape of Ghain, and here we have the letter that we may confuse it with the Ghain. Can you guess the letter? Yes, correct. It is the medial fa we just learned in the previous lesson. Now, when we have the Ghain with the hollow shape, for a beginner, we can confuse it with the fa. But if you look closely, you notice that the fa has this circular loop or circular shape, while the Ghain here, the shape of the Ghain is like a diamond. So every time you come across a text and you have two words that has loops in the medial position, look closely to the shape of the loop. If it's a more circular one, then it's a fa. But if it has this shape of the diamond, it is a Ghain. And now let's visually review the reshaping of Ain and Ghain within different positions in a word. I want you to pay attention to the small curve and the big curve, and how the big curve disappear and reappear in different positions, and how does this curve start with its original top curve, and how does it change its shape when it is in the middle and the final position. This is the initial position of the Ain and Ghain. And this is the new shape or look of the Ain and Ghain within a word in the middle position. And finally, this is the final position of Ain and Ghain. So from what we learned, we can see how these two letters, Ain and Ghain, go through a lot of changes when they reshape their form to connect with other letters within different positions of a word. This is why they are described as highly cooperative letters that belong to the friendly group. This brings us to the end of the lesson for today with Ain and Ghain. Now, the takeaway of today's lesson, beside the changes, of course, is that I want you to carefully pay attention to the rain in the medial and in the final position when the rain takes the shape of this hollow loop. The loop of the rain always looked like the diamond. And I don't want you to confuse it with the letter fa or the medial fa that has this circular loop. I hope this is clear for you. Thank you for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.